Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, still with you and this evening's edition of the Daily Debate. And once again, I'd like to welcome to the studio Dr. Milad Momtaz, our international relations expert. Once again, Dr. Milad, thank you so much for coming in this evening. So, Doctor, of course, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's visit to China comes upon an invitation from his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping. Could you tell me a bit about some of the main objectives of President el-Sisi's visit to China? How do you see the timing as well of the visit in light of the current circumstances globally as well as in the region?
I strongly believe that the timing is a very crucial thing in the whole formula here in the visit. Okay, in different areas. One of them is about the current situation, as you said, in the region. I mean, the entire world.
Indeed.
So if you look at the situation, and it was mentioned in the report about Gaza and the war in Gaza, and the reliability of the main or alleged broker, the United States of America. I believe that the United States of America as a broker in this kind of war is not trustworthy one. And that's a huge issue to the entire world, not only the Palestinians. Of course, the Palestinians are the ones who suffer most because of the war going on, I think, for the last of 7.5 months now. But I'm talking about the credibility of the so-called sole power or unipolar world that we live in. So I believe China and what China has been doing for the last, let's say, 7.5 months, especially when it comes to the role of China in the Security Council, I believe that was very pivotal and very crucial at the same time. Why? We have seen that China is taking like a strict situation and very clear situation.
Very clear stance.
Very clear one. And we have seen the head of delegation of the Chinese, actually, country, the state in the Security Council, and his talks the last 7.5 months, I think it was very straightforward that we are against the war happening in Gaza. Despite the fact that we haven't seen something on the ground for real. However, China has been trying. I wouldn't put the word hard, but they have been trying. But we've been waiting more and more from Beijing in that direction. Once again, as I said earlier, United States of America is there, but United States of America and the credibility, as I said, credibility of the United States of America is at stake now. It's being highly questioned, especially in the last couple of weeks. And if we would like to be more precise, since what's so-called the limited operation of Israel in Rafah, which is not a limited operation.
Whatsoever.
I'm wondering myself, how come they call it a limited operation? It's not a limited operation. Today, one of the latest news that I think between 75 and 80% of Rafah has been actually taken over or has been controlled by Israel. And we actually keep on describing this as a limited operation. So we've been waiting from
China for a more on-the-ground stance.
More evident, more clear-cut, more engaging.
And do you expect such a stance to come about after the meeting between the Chinese president and President Sisi, as well as the Arab leaders that are there as well attending the China-Arab Summit?
Okay, we're hoping, because actually, the situation now is very critical, and we've been waiting for actually China and the other countries in the world to take active steps towards stopping the bloodshed in Gaza. And we've seen what happened, I think it was 2 days ago, it was yesterday, and we started a couple of days ago, about the recognition of some European countries of the
Spain, Norway, and Ireland.
Exactly, Palestinian as a state, which is, of course, that's a very major step. Internationally speaking. So we've been waiting for China to take, as I said, more and more steps in that direction. That's why the meeting and the forum, not only with the President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, but with other Arab leaders, I think one of the most important, and as it was said in the summit today, the statement issued today, is that one of the most important issues that was discussed today was the war in Gaza. And another crucial issue is about what's going on in Africa. By the way, Africa, which has been, I think, more or less overlooked okay, generally speaking, especially in a situation like what's been happening in Sudan, which is catastrophic and devastating by all measures. Okay, and by the way, China has been playing a very active role in Africa.
Indeed.
Especially
from
when
southern Africa all the way.
Exactly, especially when it comes to the Sahel, okay, this region, which is very important. Okay, I think China has to be actually, more engaging, as I said, more active in Africa, not only regarding Gaza. So, in other words, and this is about the timing, because that was your question regarding timing. So I believe timing regarding the international situation, especially when it comes to the region, I think that's very crucial. Broadly speaking, if we take into consideration, what's been going on now for more than 2 years, 2 years and a half, I think we are approaching or nearing this in Ukraine. I think, because Egypt more or less indirectly involved in that kind of conflict, economically speaking, as we all remember, of course.
Just like the rest of the world, really, it is taking a toll.
Exactly. So we've been actually, discussing this with, the key player like China as well. When it comes to timing regarding Egypt now, let's forget for a moment about the word, which is very difficult, I know, but let's focus on our country. I think timing is more than perfect when it comes to strengthening our economy. Our economy is at a very critical stage now. I know we've been trying, and the government has been trying to take our economy to the next step. However, we have been facing numerous challenges in different directions. Nothing wrong if we go to Beijing, not asking help directly, we are asking them to come and invest, providing them the kind of healthy, and I mean this economically speaking, the word.
Incentives and...
Exactly.
And, yes.
Okay, and
support
course,
as well.
Exactly, incentives and other forms of support, but actually we convince them to come, and of course that would be highly beneficial to the Egyptian economy. Of course, we all know about the Swiss Canal Economic Zone and the contributions by the Chinese government in that regard. However, we need more and more in that direction. It's very crucial to our economic business or doing business and economic situation in general.
Indeed. And Dr. Milad, you actually said as well that it would be a win-win situation. So such collaboration on an economic level would not just be good for Egypt, but also it would be good for Chinese companies that were to come and invest in Egypt.
Certainly. Why? Because Egypt is one of the most important markets in the region. Okay, you have, now our population is more than 110 million. So
geography-wise, we're right in the middle.
When it comes to market, yes. And as you said, strategically speaking, the location of our country is undisputedly important. So when talking about the market, we talk about, okay, that's selling out goods, Chinese goods or whatever, they prefer actually to come to a country like Egypt and build factories and start doing business from that hub, from Egypt as an economic hub. So I believe that, okay, China, and as you said, I agree with what you said, that it's a win-win because, by the way, China benefits from this kind of partnership. It's not only Egypt, because some people, they don't really get it right as they believe it's only us. Yeah, we benefit, of course. Why doing this kind of a strategic partnership if not actually benefiting from it? But China, and I need to draw the attention to a crucial point here, is about the political benefit. And this is crucial. Why? Because China now is looking or pursuing to have a leg here in the region, to play a more broader, more larger, role in the region, especially with the doubts being raised about, as I said, about the credibility of the United States of America.
Indeed. Doctor, still on an economic front, just to focus on this, of course, President Sisi is also scheduled to meet with many leaders and heads of Chinese major companies operating in various fields, and of course with Egypt's drive and orientation towards enhancing mechanisms for localization of industry, for technological upgrades and transfers. How do you see the state attracting Chinese investors in this specific sector, as of course technology being, the language of the times that we live in?
China now is on the rise and as one of the leading technological players in the world.
Indeed.
Despite the fact that, okay, if we recall what happened starting in 1917 was Mr. Donald Trump as President of the United States of America back then, okay, and his unceasing attempts to stop exporting technology to China. However, we see China taking major steps, technologically speaking, to catch up with the world. And we've been actually seeing what's going on with as a chip maker, okay, in the world nowadays. And we've been actually, watching how, advanced they become nowadays, manufacturing some of the most advanced chips in the whole world.
Indeed.
If we actually take this into consideration and we move actually the whole thing about technology and technological advances of China here in Egypt, we see how beneficial it is and it will be in the near future. Okay, and let me actually give you another example which I find it very crucial. It's about energy. By the way, China has been investing billions of dollars in that kind of industry. By the way, that's one of the most promising industries in the entire world nowadays. And Egypt, on the other hand, I believe we have realized that it is the future about, okay, the world nowadays. I'm talking about energy, especially when it comes to green energy.
Yes.
Okay, for example, like hydrogen, and we've been working so hard on this now, and we are building one of the most advanced factories in the world, okay, for this kind of purpose, specific purpose about, okay, hydrogen. And we've been actually getting help from different countries, namely one of them is China, concerning this. And we've been hearing good news, fortunately, about manufacturing the first Egyptian EV cars, electric
vehicles,
car,
yes.
the vehicle, electric vehicle. And this is very crucial as well. We've been actually hearing that is what it will be in partnership with, okay, one of the leading Chinese companies. So, and of course, okay, China has been well known for the last 10 years as a leading player in that, okay, more than Tesla, even the American company. So, okay, BYD now is one of the leading companies.
Generally, Chinese companies are, of course, leading in the electric vehicle area. Let me take a short break, Dr. Milad. Another report on the latest developments with President Sisi's visit to China, and we'll be back to continue our discussion in the studio. Do stay tuned.
Egypt and China share a unique bond that transcends traditional diplomatic engagements. The relation is rooted in historical interactions that date back to the ancient Silk Road, but it has evolved into a modern alliance characterized by robust economic cooperation, cultural exchanges, and strategic alignment. President Sisi and President Xi Jinping discussed regional and international issues of common interest, most notably the war in Gaza and ways to restore regional stability and achieve the aspirations of its people for peace, security, and development. The talks between President Sisi and President Xi Jinping aim to further solidify their alliance, focusing on areas of mutual interest and concern. One of the key highlights of President Sisi's state visit to China is the participation in the China-Arab States Cooperation Forum. This forum is a testament to China's strategic intent to foster stronger ties with Arab nations. Egypt, with its pivotal role in the Middle East and North Africa region, is a crucial partner for China in this endeavor. The forum provides a platform for Egypt and China to discuss not only bilateral issues, but also broader regional dynamics and collaborative opportunities within the Arab world. During the comprehensive talks in Beijing, several significant topics dominate the agenda. These include the war in Gaza, deepening economic ties through increased trade and investment, enhancing cooperation in infrastructure development, and exploring new avenues in technology and innovation. The discussions also cover security and defense collaboration, given the rising importance of regional stability in the face of global challenges. Economic cooperation remains a cornerstone of Egyptian-Chinese relations. China's Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to create a vast network of trade and infrastructure projects connecting Asia with Europe and Africa, finds a vital partner in Egypt. President Sisi's state visit to China is a significant event that highlights the evolving partnership between Egypt and China. It is an opportunity to reinforce existing ties, explore new areas of cooperation, and address shared challenges. As both leaders hold comprehensive talks in Beijing, the commitment to fostering a stronger community and a brighter future for their peoples and regions will be at the forefront of their agenda. The visit is a testament to the power of diplomacy, strategic vision, and the bonds of friendship between Egypt and China.